haunted castles to forgotten cinemas, from video game landscapes to legendary film sets, these are the real places you can actually visit. I've travelled across England to bring together games, ghosts, history and film into one journey. Let's go! Part 1. Atomfall by train. Our journey starts with a game that turns the familiar into the uncanny, Atomfall, inspired by Britain's nuclear history. I explored the same coastlines, landscapes by train, uncovering the eerie, very real world behind the pixels. Section 2. Haunted, Muncaster Castle during Halloween. Next stop, one of Britain's most haunted places, Muncaster Castle. On Halloween night, I visited the Gothic halls where centuries of ghost stories are still told, and some people swear they're still heard. I just got back from Muncaster Castle's Scarecaster event on Halloween. Muncaster Castle is widely known as Britain's most haunted castle, and it is privately owned. It's not owned by the National Trust, run by one family who has owned it for generations and generations. We stayed there, we went to the whole Scarecaster event, we walked into the event, which was an experience, which you'll see. We did the ghost walk as late as possible, so we were there till midnight, till the castle closed. And we also saw lots of food, which was amazing, but we also went on the maze, the scare maze with all the actors and everything, and I filmed as much as humanly possible.
We've not had enough carrots. We both have awful eyesight as well, so there's an added danger of having poor eyesight. Here lies the apex.
What's that mean? I'll take pictures.
Sounds like a trendy bar.
Damn, it's dark down here. Does that mean they got out road?
Okay, I'm going. Here lies good old Ted, a big rock fell on his head. Rick? Oh, shit. Whoa. Controversial. Try explaining that one to the kids. Oh, balls?
How are you doing, sir?
I don't respond.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
No weapons back there, I hope.
Stabby McKill.
Lovely, lovely. Killing me with kindness.
Is it from a pop culture thing that I'm too old to know? Doesn't work here. I don't know. Scary man, like a Squid Game or something. He was a Squid Game. He was Squid Game. That's what people were screaming at before. Now I see. I'm actually on edge now.
One of us is going to die.
Oh, that's okay. Which one? You don't know, do you?
I know that.
Rick.
Terrifying.
Terrifier 3. So we need to be at the castle door at 9:15. I will forget. Righto. Checks. Oh, something's going to happen.
Safe word.
The safe word? Oh shit! What is the safe word? It was on the. Oh, fish. I thought it was onions. Right. Okay. I kept telling myself it was onions. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh shit! I hate creepy laughs. Giggles. Do you remember when we went to the one in Manchester and we just kind of like walked around the maze and sort of were like, oh, hello. This is going to be the same, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what else you do.
Yeah, like go. Oh. I mean, if I am scared, but my scared thing is not. Oh, Jesus.
Hello. My night vision's so
He's pretty. He's not pretty.
That's good too.
I like his bollocks. I'm not a big fan of his bollocks. There's a lot of slurs being thrown around him.
Twisted my ankle.
Are you really?
Nice.
Hello.
Like it.
Hi.
How many more will I have?
I know that was the perfect place to be. I can't see where I'm going. Not me.
Yeah, there's someone behind the screen.
That's fun. Oh. Oh. Orky.
Step into the light beast.
Ah!
Oh, it's a horny bastard.
Okay. I know. Jeez.
Spiders now.
Oh. Hey, how you doing?
To do this one day.
Yes. Yes is yes.
Still got me.
Is that alive? Is not a good question to ask. We're going to try extra hard to scare you. I throw my phone down this hill. I'm really fucking angry.
I think that must be the last thing. There's probably no more jump scares. Let's just walk forward with confidence now. Oh, I've got that chainsaw.
What is it? It's Leatherface. It's Pleatherface. It's not like it's a vegetarian, but it's like vegetarian vegan version of Leatherface. It's the legally distinct version of Leatherface. Ah! Jeez.
Yeah, the chainsaw's getting louder.
Genuinely real true songs.
There's always the chance that they're just random people.
There's a chance that, like, yeah, he doesn't work here. Yeah. He's just a really disgruntled groundskeeper.
And there's a chance he'll just slip on the mud and actually just walk around on.
Yeah. What a weird time of night to be here. He's definitely a leaf blower, I believe him. He's going to blow me. Oh, okay, that's not actually, that's not too bad. How much is just people? What's that hanging over there?
Oh, I'm pretty full now.
Are you? I could literally have another burger.
Have you got a tapeworm?
Something wicked. Oh, I've had something wicked this week, haven't I?
Don't look like it, it's bloody terrible.
With it being the most hot castle we could do that whole year. Well, this is it. There's loads of opportunities here. I'm not sure that it's only the younger one who's kind of bringing more of this stuff in. Hey.
How many?
2.
Can you go?
Thanks.
You have also mentioned Max in your book. He was the old children's mazes mascot.
No phone. No cameras. Okay, anybody wants out at any point? It is code brown. Shout code brown and somebody will get you out as quick as we can. Okay?
To talk about the activity that opened earlier this year.
Would you like to touch the fish?
What happens if we touch the fish?
Just touch the fish!
I'm touching the fish. It's like living in the castle. Living in the castle is also a place that is these kind of events.
The good thing is I will have to swap this music out for something else anyway because this will be copyright. Yeah. So we can talk all over this, it doesn't make any difference. It's actually a lot better than I thought. Scarecaster, what are your thoughts? There's the Scarecaster sign, look, over here, look. It's a Scarecaster on it. It's all muddy and horrible, shitty. Oh look, Scarecaster! Rick. Well, should we have gone to the family festival or should we have gone to Scarecaster? You decide.
This is the visitor centre. It's as scary as hell. Animatronic folk horror mashup. It was so scary.
Grandad called me a reckless little rodent. That's an animal who keeps nibbling all the time to wear its teeth down. Which one of these animals do you think is a rodent? Deer? Badger? Rat? Owl? Phew! I'm glad we managed to escape from the badger. Badgers are carnivores. They eat other animals. Phew! All this running about's making me hungry. But what do you think megalodons like to eat? Worms? Nuts? It's not just wild animals who like to eat megalodons. One of our biggest enemies is a favourite pet. It's one. Cat. Gerbil. Budgie. Duck. If we mean to face it, we've made lots of dangerous animals, haven't we? But do you know which is the most dangerous animal on earth? Lion, shark, tarantula, human. Oh, it's getting dark. And that's when nocturnal animals wake up and go to the prowl.
Section 3. Cinema History. Odeon. From ghosts to the silver screen. The grand history of Odeon cinemas, once glittering palaces of film, now often forgotten or lost. I dig into their stories, the history of Odeon, and what they mean to cinema lovers today.
Hello. So this is something that I've wanted to do for a little while, which is to talk about the history of Odeon cinemas. I just think there's a lot of stuff that I found out recently, and I guess I've known for quite a while in the back of my mind. And I read an article inspired me to make this video in the Intermission magazine, which I buy for my parents. They have no interest in reading it whatsoever. It was a gift I thought they would like from the Talking Pictures TV. So I've ended up getting it and reading it and finding it really interesting. They did an article in issue 7, which is a while ago now. It takes me a long time to get through all these magazines, all about Odeon. And the thing that caught my eye was the Oscar Deutsch entertains our nation. I was like, oh, okay, I think I remember that, but I'd forgotten that that's what it stood for. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of history of Odeon we still see Odeon cinemas, not as many, but we still see them, which is pretty amazing. You talk about some of the things that are around Britain in the same timeline, and they've kind of disappeared, whether it was like factories with big communities based around them that I've read about recently that just aren't there anymore, or whether it's the Showcase Cinema brand, which I remember from when they were being built. My dad had a hand in building quite a lot of those, and those multi-screen ones being the first thing. But Odeon is something that I think we're all familiar with. For me, not as much as some of the other cinemas. I looked at the ones I went to as a child. I had to go into bigger cities to see Odeon cinemas or films at Odeon cinemas. So I'm just going to take you through a little bit of the sort of the Art Deco style as well, which I think is wonderful, absolutely wonderful to see. So, you know, Hollywood premieres at the heart of London, which is pretty amazing. This is the story of Odeon cinemas, one of Britain's greatest cultural landmarks. So it started in 1928, and there's a man called Oscar Deutsch, as I said earlier, opened his first cinema in Perry Bar, Birmingham. Now, the name Odeon, now most people are in agreement that it stands for Oscar Deutsch Entertains Our Nations. Others say it just echoed the Greek themes and Greek theatres. Either way, it was more of an experience than a lot of the cinemas that people had gone to before, those flea pit experiences that maybe of my dad's generation will have seen. Now, what we call flea pits, by the way, they actually were. I remember my dad telling me, like, of you know, he's over 90 now, but I remember him telling me about the cinemas where literally people would get bit by fleas in them. So we might just say, oh, that was a ratty cinema, but like they really were. So, you know, the thing about them was the Art Deco design, as I mentioned earlier, those glamorous foyers and the plush red seats. I did have a seat from one for a long time, and I can't remember what happened to it. I think I sold it. I think it collapsed. I can't quite remember, but I had it in my room, in my office in the old house. It never didn't make it to my new house. But I went all the way to Stoke to get it. I wish I had I'll try and find a picture of it at some point and post it in the community tab. So by 1937, there were over 250 Odeons across the UK, and it had become the crown jewel in British cinema going. The same year, and Deutsch sold a controlling stake to J. Arthur Rank, which is the reason why I've got the dong, the guy with the, I'm going to say the guy with the dong, the guy with the gong. J. Arthur Rank as well, a famous rhyming slang enthusiast, tying Odeon to the Rank organization. So it was a media powerhouse with its own studios and distribution. And, well, that iconic gong that's on the screen right now. So if we're looking into the 1950s, let's fast forward to the 1950s a little bit. 1950s living rooms, TVs, there's lots of you know, modernization and things like that, but that's meaning that the magic couldn't last forever. By the 50s, television arrived and cinema attendance started to fall off. Sound familiar? Single screen cinemas became multi-screens. Some were sold off, others demolished, but a few, like the Odeon Leicester Square, which I've never been to, I'd like to go to. There's a few cinemas in London that I'd like to go to that I've seen pictures of, and I've maybe been near, but never in. Not been to London a lot of times. Sort of stereotypical northerner. I've been for football finals. I went for a family holiday. I've been to museums there because I'm a cultured son of a gun. But I never got to go to cinema. So yeah, Odeon Leicester Square became legendary. Now, if we have a look at the sort of the branding and the logos of Odeon, yes, they've changed slightly over the years, but that the spacing and the styling has really stood out. It did merge and did pass into private hands, UCI in 2004, creating the largest cinema group in Europe. But it needed more than just size to survive. Now, I remember the days of the monthly passes, and I know there's still a similar thing with Cineworld and different things, and Cineworld's struggling too. But there was a period of time where you could get a monthly pass and just literally wave this at somebody and see films, you know, multiple times in a day, 4, 5, 6, 7 films in a day, or whatever it was. Well, I suppose 3 or 4. That I definitely did at some cinemas. There needed to be something to keep people going. So in 2016, and this is just a potted history. I'm hoping I can kind of keep my rambling to under 10 minutes, and you guys can kind of tell me in the comments all the other interesting your other interesting experiences of Odeon cinemas. So in 2016, Odeon was bought by AMC Theatres, the American giant. They invested in the recliners, the IMAX, the 4DX, trying to bring the magic back. But this time, obviously, the competition was not TV, it was streaming. There's always going to be competition. The thing is, for me, I don't focus on a film near half as much as I do at the cinema. For somebody who has my brain, I can't. Somebody who has my brain, that'll be me then. But yeah, in terms of focus and watching a film, and I feel like everyone to a certain degree maybe has these issues: phones, people, things going on, other distractions. If I go to the cinema, I need a cinema. I need the lights out. I need focus. I need just that one thing to say and be immersed in that world. And we use the word immersed a lot these days, but to be immersed in that world. Otherwise, I will not focus in the same way. Think of the films that you absolutely love. You were either glued to them because you got them as a Christmas present and you were so excited, or you went to the cinema to see them and you were just absolutely drawn to it, and you just soaked up every frame of the film. In that case, you need a cinema to do that. It's almost like an immersion therapy or something. It doesn't need to be in it. And that, I think, is the reason why cinemas are so important and so vital, because we are just having so many things thrown at us. And maybe it's my age, or maybe it's just who I am. I've always been the same. For me, it was a good brain break to go to the cinema. It was a good opportunity. It didn't matter what was going on in the world, what was going on in my life, no matter how challenging things were. I was just in the cinema watching that film, and for that hour and a half or whatever it was, I didn't think about anything else. And that for me is really, really difficult, without making this into like a mental health documentary. So yeah, so yes, we do have streaming, scrolling. There's always been television, there's always been things that, this is why people will stop going to the cinema. But I think it will survive. I hope it will survive, and it needs to survive. And I think for people like me, it's the only way that you're really going to get that full experience. I'll do watch parties and chat through a film. Most of the time they're films that I have, or commentaries, and that I've seen a million times, and I just enjoy chatting to that person about the film, and it doesn't really go minute by minute to the film. But when it's a new film, and you can't do that, and you have to have that focus on it. So, well, despite everything, Odeon still stands tall, especially in Leicester Square, where film premieres dazzle under the sign from Bond all the way to Barbie. It's where British film royalty meet the public. And Oscar Deutsch, well, he once dreamed of entertaining the nation, and over a century later, he still does. So if you love cinema and you have those experiences, maybe there's a cinema brand. I have in my members section, if that will ever be available again, in the members section, I have my cinema history and what the films that I watched as a youngster and the places I watched them in and what they meant to me. The Davenport Major and Minor, particularly in Stockport, but so many other cinemas that I can think of, even when they used to have big, massive Art Deco cinemas inside holiday camps, which if you remember that. But if you have a favorite Odeon memory or any other kind of memory, and also a positive as well, if you enjoyed this video, there's the video about saving the royalty cinema in Bowness, which has been saved since I made that video. So not because of me, but I think people who have the same ideas as me. And there was lots of negativity in the comments about that. Just people not going to do it. No one wanted it. It's not going to make, it's not going to make sense, fiscal sense, and the people who live in the area and blah, 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 and all this negativity about it. But someone is invested in it. And literally before before the grand reopening, they're doing the Backbeat Beatles there. They're selling ice cream out of the window and doing really well. They're jazzing it up. They're giving it a fresh coat of paint, and they're thinking of different things they can do there. Many of the things that I said myself in the video that I hoped someone could do, I wished I could do it really. If you want to read a little bit more on this and a little bit more detail, it's only 2-page, but there's a great book called Odeon Cinemas by Alan Isles. And if you want to go to the Cinema Theatre Association, www.cta.// carry the one. So the Cinema Theatre Association, if you Google them, you'll find it. The CTA or UK.org. Why was that so hard to read? Great pictures. I've actually got the Odeon Cinemas book by Alan Isles, which is called number one of his cinema series is called Oscar Deutsch Entertains Our Nation. And it's a really, really good book, but also a good read in intermission. If you, there's intermission there, I'm holding it. There we go, there's intermission. How cinemas won the war. And that is fascinating. You know, the kind of, there's loads in this particular issue about it. I really recommend the magazine. It's a great magazine. I read them, even though it wasn't for me. But anyway, never mind.
Cinema history, Stockport and the Northwest. Cinema isn't just Hollywood, it's everywhere, including right here in the Northwest. Stockport, the town where I grew up, and the surrounding towns shaped generations of moviegoers, and I've traced their history. Well, my history.
But if you ask my favorite place of all, the answer isn't hard to comprehend. I'm going back to Stockport. There's nowhere that can beat it. That's right, I tell you, Stockport. Do you want me to repeat it? Well, it's Stockport. Stockport's the place for me. The people seem to be so friendly. The houses seem to say, come in. And somehow, well, the smell of cotton seems to get there right inside your skin. I'm going back to Stockport. I've traveled up and down this country, from the Pennines to Land's End. But if you ask my favorite place of all, the answer isn't hard to comprehend. I'm going back to Stockport. There's nowhere that can beat it. That's right, I tell you, Stockport. Do you want me to repeat it? Well, it's Stockport. Stockport's the place for me. The people seem to be so friendly. The houses seem to say, come in. And somehow, well, the smell of cotton seems to get there right inside your skin. I'm going back to Stockport. I've traveled up and down this country, from the Pennines to Land's End. But if you ask my favorite place of all, the answer isn't hard to comprehend. I'm going back to Stockport. There's nowhere that can beat it. That's right, I tell you, Stockport. Do you want me to repeat it? Well, it's Stockport. Stockport's the place for me. The people seem to be so friendly. The houses seem to say, come in. Somehow, well, the smell of cotton seems to get there right inside your skin. I'm going back to Stockport. I've traveled up and down this country, from the Pennines to Land's End. But if you ask my favorite place of all, the answer isn't hard to comprehend. I'm going back to Stockport. There's nowhere that can beat it. That's right, I tell you, Stockport. Do you want me to repeat it? When it's Stockport, Stockport's the place for me. The people seem to be so friendly. The houses seem to say, come in. Somehow, well, the smell of cotton seems to get there right inside your skin. I'm going back to...
Saving the Royalty in Bowness. A story that actually did have a happy ending. Because not every story is about loss. In Bowness, I talk about the fight to save the royalty cinema, a piece of history, still alive thanks to the people who love it. These are my personal clips and a little bit of campaigning that I did. I don't know if it did any good, but I wanted to talk about it.
Hello, I'm down here. I'm down here. That blurry picture at the top, ignore it. You can just about see me. I'm down here in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. I'm here to talk about my favourite cinema as an adult. Not my favourite adult cinema. My favourite favourite cinema as an adult, the Royalty in Bowness. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to watch a little video that I made about it and talk all over it. I'll be quiet for little moments because I filmed inside. I want to show you what a special place it is. I want to make an appeal to anyone who's watching, and I want to kind of give you a bit of background and understanding of why it's such a special place. So it might look a bit strange, but once I press play, you'll kind of get an understanding of where we're going for, what I'm going for. So, is it too late to save Bowness's historic royalty cinema? My exclusive look inside and future plans. That's what the video is called. I'm going to show you some videos that I took inside. I'm going to show you some pictures that I took and some other historic information. I'm going to give you a little bit of background of the place. It really is a wonderful place in the Lake District in Bowness. So let's start the video and then we'll talk. In fact, let me see if I can just edit. Well, you know what? No. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to press play. Let's sit a bit closer. There we go. Hello. Right, let's go. So this is the Royalty Cinema in Bowness. Shut down at the end of 2024. Some pictures that I took inside. As you can see, it is your classic cinema. Looks beautiful from the outside, the inside. There is a new multi-screen cinema. Oh, gee whiz. In Penrith. I'm going to be quiet for a moment while you watch this.
classic ads. Okay, so we're back. So I just want to show you, I did film some classic trailers because they used to show classic trailers before they showed It's a Wonderful Life every Christmas. We used to go every Christmas Eve from 2012 all the way up until last year, which I hope will not be our last one, but I fear it will be because it's no longer open. This is a cinema that is found in Bowness, like I said, in the Lake District, used by locals. There's Martinis from It's a Wonderful Life. And it really is a special place to me and many local people. And I feel like it needs to stay open. We need to restore and preserve these wonderful places. So if I know Andy Cleek of Monopoly does all the For the Love of things, he's restoring the cinema in Ashton in Greater Manchester. Andy, buy this cinema, make it great. Bring it back. There's so much that can be done with it. When they do special events like It's a Wonderful Life, there's mulled wine and mince pies. It's beautiful. I'm going to show you some pictures that I took of it. The last film I saw in it, I think, other than It's a Wonderful Life, was the last Scream film. And there was like 3 of us in there. And I was like, oh man, like I hope this keeps going. It's great. It's surrounded by lovely restaurants in Bowness, in one of the nicest parts of the country near Lake Windermere. And I'm afraid the people who go on holidays and stuff are just not using it, and the locals were not kind of patronizing it as much as they should, or patronizing it. And it's like many things, it's gone. But I wonder if it could not turn into an Airbnb. Please, if someone's watching this, the gods of cinema, if you are watching this, anyone, Superman, if you're out there, we don't want this to become an Airbnb. We want this to be a cinema. I wish I could own it. I wish this could be my life. Strangely enough, we know the family. I know the family of who owned this originally before they sold it to the current people. I think they own 2 cinemas, or they own 1. But the people who had this beforehand, and it was a real family business. You've got the Wurlitzer. You've got the Wurlitzer in the corner. You've got so much cool stuff that it just looks like your fantasy dream of an old-fashioned cinema. It's a lovely atmosphere. I just roll out, get a Chinese meal afterwards, a succulent Chinese meal afterwards. It was just one of my favourite places to be. What made it so special? Well, there's not many of them left. It reminds you of being a kid, and all the cinemas that I went to in Stockport just don't exist anymore. When I was a kid, a Davenport Major and Minor and ones like that. You know, it just you just come out of it feeling like you've stepped back in time. It needs saving. We need these things. These are just as important as museums or heritage sites. These are heritage sites. The old-fashioned adverts and things like that. There is definitely scope for making this into one of these places where they show special things. Like, it was always packed for It's a Wonderful Life, but not so much for modern movies. So there's definitely scope there for. I would honestly, if it was me, I'd be running a little film festival there with all the independent filmmakers that I know, and I would be making something of this. There's scope for that. There's so much in terms of like things like horror. There's scope for festivals and events, and people will want to come and to do this. I mean, look at Talking Pictures TV, how popular their events are in places like this. So yeah, we need to keep this going. So this is the little foyer around here. Oh man, I got mulled wine and mince pies at the top here. There's popcorn. Remember, you're getting poppets and things like that. This is like it. You pay for your tickets there, and it's like the little tiny tickets that they rip as well. Oh my word! You need to be able to take your family to places like this. It's not the same as like going to like a megaplex. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just something magical about it, and like it's always been the high point of my year. I've never felt Christmassy until I went here. Here's a picture of it from I think the late 80s that I found. So it didn't change a lot over time. There's an upstairs bit. There's a balcony bit where I watch Scream because they only open that bit. And normally I sit at the bottom bit. There's just, you know, and they look after it. It's not in bad shape. It's the toilets are ancient, but you know, toilets are what they are. And there's the front of it. It's just got something. It's just got something special about it without rambling on too much. So if it's somebody like you know, a big investor or somebody watching, I'm sure you can pick this up, and there is definite scope to do something with it. I don't know about you, but it was always my dream as a kid to either a video shop or own my own cinema. And I wish I could. I wish I could put effort and time into building this place back up. It's stunning scenery, and it's also just a little haven, a little place to go. So yeah, here's some pictures I took when they were doing the Wurlitzer before the shows. And I love all the classic old ads that they play. Like I said before, it just really made it special. And there it is, the Wurlitzer itself. And, you know, even though the reason I haven't travelled there as much recently is because it's just such a windy trek for me. There's so many thousands of people go to the lakes. You can utilise that footfall. And here's my little trail. I'll play this again. Just wanted to show it you. Probably get a copyright strike, God knows, but I just sat here watching these. This was before the last film I watched there. Johnny Cage. Such random ads as well. There'd be an Eric Morecambe ad and then something from the 90s. Look at this. Do you remember their Probe? They were a pretty cool looking car, actually. I guess the other title, "Do You Want to Get Probed," was refused, and then we watched "It's a Wonderful Life" like we did the last 12 years or so. And there's me there's me upstairs in the balcony just before Scream. Honestly, I had such a dizzying drive there. The weather was appalling that night, and maybe I didn't go as much as I could. But is it the end? Is it the end of the royalty? I hope not. I hope someone's watching this and will do something about it, who has a bit of cash. I don't know. Will it be the end? So I'm just going to play that again in the background while I give you my Jerry's final thoughts. You watched that Jerry Springer documentary recently? No, I'm too big. You don't want me that big. There we go. So I just think, you know, there's definitely, we're in an era now where people want experiences. They want to go to the Harry Potter experience. They want to go to the Batman experience that I went to recently, things like that. They want to go to film festivals. They want to go to conventions. This would be an incredible place to hold it. This is, you know, I just think it needs a little bit of a rethink in how it was used. And people will come to it in droves. It's just holds a special place in my heart, and I wanted to make a video about it. I want to make a video about it for ages and ages and ages, and I just haven't, mainly because I don't know. I just wasn't sure how to address it, how to talk about it. I've got these limited little memories and pictures of it. I've got a lot of happy times there with friends and family. I lived in the area briefly. It's not just about me and what I feel about it, but I feel like lots of other people feel that too about it, I could see. And for whatever reason, it just kind of drifted away into obscurity without anyone really raising an eyebrow or getting angry about it or doing anything. I'm sure the people who owned it wanted to keep it going, but it just wasn't possible. And I really do hope, and again, like I said, I'm watching what they were doing over in Ashton, what Andy Cleek's done there, the Monopoly Entertainment guy. And, you know, you need someone like that who has a passion for cinema and a love for cinema. Obviously, I think that was his local cinema when he was younger, so he has an attachment to it, you know. But these things that people have managed to do with events, whether it's talking pictures out of somebody's shed started off, or whether it's Andy with using bowlers and things like that in Manchester, there are these people that just pop up somewhere who have a real deep love for film, cinema, or a certain genre, whether it's wrestling or horror or whatever it is, and then they grab hold of something and they make a success out of it. And I just was wondering if there's anyone watching this video who would be willing to do that for the royalty, because it would be so sad if this just ends up as a block of flats or holiday rentals or something, and you just rip all those seats out. You know, too many amazing places have just disappeared from Britain, and it's part of the fabric of our country. And all you need to do, I guess, is just tap into how to make these things into an experience and theme, whether it's a marathon thing. The Plaza in Stockport, you know, went from being a battered old bingo hall back into its former glory. And if you look at the Plaza, it is pretty insane what they've managed to do with it. And they do really good themed events. And I went to the Talking Pictures event there and it was great. But they do loads, and it's just crying out for something like that. There are people who buy box sets of things from the 70s and 80s, and they're kind of hard to get hold of, and people are very passionate about it. And there's people who watch this channel, who watch my confessions videos or Carry On or talk about Vincent Price or Peter Cushing. These people are not all old fogies like me. There is a new generation of people like that who love these things too. And certainly, as we find out with horror, you know, the fandom of horror has become huge. So you've just got to kind of tap into something like that. But anyway, I'm not just going to ramble on forever. This is going to be a short video. But if you're interested in the cinema and you're interested in what they're doing with it, I would love you to find out more about it and see if you can help. If you've got a couple of million in the in your back pocket that you're wanting to spend on something worthwhile, then do it. If you Google it, it just says temporarily closed. You know, it's an hour from my house. It is, you know, we're talking about something from the 20s here, and you know, 1927. It's a landmark of the place. It's iconic, and I don't want it to just drift away. It's hard. It's one of those. Is like they're saying it's because of footfall, and that's true. That's definitely because of footfall. But I feel that we could maybe somebody with the right approach and the right strategy could do something about this before it's too late. I'm just looking. I was looking online earlier on. I was like, if I want to buy it, is it for sale? You know, and I couldn't find out anything. But I bet if you've got the means, it's looking for a new leaseholder is the last thing I found after the manager decided to not renew his lease. So they're looking for a new tenant. The Westmoreland and Furness Council, if you go to it, the manager, Charles Morris, decided not to renew his lease. The current level of admissions doesn't cover the costs of running the cinema. So, you know, it used to be a public hall. It used to be used for dancers and theatres. It's Art Deco. You know Art Deco, don't you? He's a lovely guy. It is, the community are really sad about it. There's things about it on the BBC. I'll put some links to some things about it as well. In July, they were saying that they're still looking for a new operator. Let's keep it as a cinema, please. Somebody keep this as a cinema. Or give me the money. I will buy it, and I will do these things that I'm suggesting. I will run the Lake District Horror Film Festival. I will run the Festival of 70s and 80s TV. I will get people in. I will run independent film nights. People that I know who are making horror films in the UK, we'll get them in. We'll get them to do Q&As, show their films behind the scenes. I'll get those guys in. We'll get them to sign posters, pictures, and show you the films, and we'll treat it like a big old premiere. We'll have premiere for films. We'll get people I've had on the channel on there. We'll do live video links with people. We will get people into this building. All you need to do is give me the money. I'll do it. Otherwise, if you don't like the idea of that, do it yourself. Please. I'm begging you. So it sounds like it is possible. It sounds like it is possible for someone to come in and be a new leaseholder. You don't necessarily just have to buy it. You can be the leaseholder and you can make stuff happen here. And I don't know, I feel like there's something special in the offing. If somebody does it, I'll make another video about what they do. I'll go and support them and help them out as much as they can. If anyone wants to work with me on this and wants me to help, I'll do it for free. I'll do it for free. We'll give some money to some charities that I like. We'll give some money to Mind or the Christie Cancer Hospital, and I'll help out and support what you're doing in this cinema for free because I love it that much. The only one thing I will ask for in return for my unpaid consultancy is every Christmas Eve you'll put on It's a Wonderful Life and we'll have mince pies and mulled wine. That's it. And then I'll be a happy Matty again and everybody will be it'll be happy days. So I hope you've enjoyed this little trip into the cinema. It is a very small video, but a very important place in my heart, and I'm sure many, many others. And I think if you just love cinema in general, you support this kind of, you support my thoughts on this. You know, it shouldn't be sat empty. Let's do something, you know. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching my stream of consciousness rambling on this lovely channel, which has lots of lovely people watching it. I would like you to, if you like this and share it, then I don't often say that in my videos, but I'm saying it for this one, then maybe more people will see it, and then somebody with a bit of cash will see it, and maybe they will get the ball running. It doesn't have to involve me. I don't care. I just want this place open again. I just want them showing movies again. In the comments, tell me, engage, what's your favorite cinema from when you were a kid, when you were older? What sort of, your memories about classic cinema going, just cinema going now, There's so many people who are passionate. There's the Wigan Cult Film Club who, they're passionate about cinema and they love to support their local cinemas and things like that. There's definitely people all over this country willing to do that. They're full of convention halls paying hundreds and hundreds of pounds for pictures with people. We tap into those people. Let's get that love of cinema to keep this place open. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you, as always. This is a short video. Actually, I've said 12 times, so it'll have to be, won't it? But if I keep saying it, it'll be a longer video. So, Westmoreland and Furness Council, lower how much money it is. Or very rich people, get in touch with them. The Royalty Cinema, Bowness on Windermere. Let's make it happen, man. From my lips to God's ears. Let's start naming some people who, who've got a bit of a following. Let's get Video Tasties to buy this place. Whoa, dude. Gee whiz, I clicked on the wrong. I was looking at names of people whose channels I watch. But yeah, Gareth, buy this cinema. Come on, invest that hard-earned YouTube money. No, Owl Card, get over from Louisiana. Get this one. Horror Cat Dad, come on. Night Owl Movie Talk, come on. Buy this cinema. Who else are we talking about? Let's see. Who are my subscriptions with? People, I don't know. I'm just trying to guess if they have cash. So I guess like the Sidemen, Red Letter Media. Are they going to buy this? I don't know. People I enjoy watching. Stuart Millard, let's get him here. Let's get him doing funny sort of show some of his videos on and do a night where we get him over. That'd be awesome. Man, let's get Mr. Dyson over to talk about James Bond. Oh man, there's so many people. I'd just ask them. I'd just be getting all these people off YouTube. Let's get, Mr. Shelton, John Shelton over to show some of his short films. Let's get Mr. Dan and Horror over. Let's get the Trash Picture Show. Let's get Marty over here. Let's get Mayanne to do a Chucky evening. Come on. Let's get Live Style Rewind to come and do some, some fashion and some bad movie nights. Let's get all these people. I'm missing people out. I know this. I'm missing people out. But I'm kind of half joking, but like it would be so cool if like a creator on YouTube saw this who had a bit of, I know I have nothing. He who has nothing. I don't have the money to do this, but somebody must have. Surely. Like, can Talking Pictures TV buy this? Can they afford it? I don't know. That'd be ideal. They'd be the perfect ones. They could own their own cinema, run all of their events out of this. Then they don't have to go to Hebden Bridge and all down south and stuff. Well, maybe they live down south, so that's probably the reason why. Like, let's get the new Hammer films. They could base out of there. Let's get Amicus. Let's get Laurie Brewster working in here. Let's get him as, you know, with his having his premieres in there. That would be so cool. Oh my word, there's so many. Let's get Garen Noonan and Follow Me, I'm Delicious to the cinema. Like, I'm just going through people who could be on. Get an OSW review live show on here. I am going through everybody who I watch on YouTube to try and implore you. Shout outs to the people who have signed up to my channel as well, and I really do appreciate that. Sarah and Rob, oh, so many people. Like, just I really do appreciate that. You know, there's got to be one person somewhere who's got a classic telly channel or something that I follow who will just buy this place and bring it back to its former glory. I don't want to see some urban explorer going in here and, you know, saying there's a ghost in it. I just, you know, what about those Starburst film guys? They could be running their Starburst Film Festival out of here. Yeah, let's get that going again rather than in Manchester. Let's get them down to Bowness. Let's get this running. That'd be cool. Yeah, man, that'd be cool. What else? Who else? Let's throw some names out there. People who've been on my channel. Let's get Uwe Boll down here. Let's get him showing his films. Get 4 or 5 of his films. Get some controversy going. Controversy creates cash, as they say. I'll do some podcasts out of there if we're wanting to get people to leave. Who else? Let's have a look. Oh man, there's so many. The Drunk Review. Mystery Science Theatre. Let's get Mystery Science Theatre people in. Let's get Riff Tracks in. Let's get these people round. Kevin Smith, are you watching? You already own a cinema, Kevin Smith. Come and buy another one in the UK. Run all of your Smodcast things out of there. Come on, man. Do it. Do it. Charles Band. Yeah. You can make like 12 films in a day in there, Charles Band. Come on. JT's horror discussions. He'll help you. He'll help you put the films together. He'll give you the ideas. Come on, there's so many. Get Pat Finity in. I watch him. He's funny. He can play some music. Tell us about what makes this song stink. So many. We'll get Mike down from Liverpool. We'll get Sean Muscadini to come down and do, you know, some deep dives into some film series like that we haven't thought of since the 2000s and go, oh yeah, man, that's really strange. Yeah. Get Professor Macabro to come down. Man, there's so many people. I'm just literally scanning through thinking, yes. Now, do all of these people have money? I certainly don't. So maybe they don't either. But if you've got like a lot of cash coming in from the old YouTube, because you know it's a big money spinner, then maybe you could spend it on this cinema. Walk with me, Tim. Get down here. Walk down here, Tim, and buy this cinema. Who else am I looking at? I'm going to keep going. I've said Alucard. He's definitely going to put some money into this. Who we got? Count Binface. This is the noble thing to do, Count Binface. I bought your little figure, Count Binface. It's up there. I'm not going to get it. What else? Who else have we got? There's so many as I'm scrolling through. There's so many famous and not so famous people that would, I think, must be got all them. Why have your money under a mattress somewhere? Spend it on buying yourself a cinema. Put it into something you love. Yeah. I'm desperately trying to think of people here, but you're probably all as strapped for cash as I am. But I know I could get people in who you would love to see, and films that you would love to see as well. So, yeah, that's my message, my passionate message. Okay, I just said some random names of people but my big one I was thinking was like, what if Andy from Monopoly Event saw this video and was like, do you know what? I want to kind of expand my empire even more. And I want to save this cinema. Be a hero, man. Do it. Do it. Yeah. You know, Steve Coogan was out talking about the lake being dirty and stuff like that. That's actually because he's got a boat on it, you know, and it directly affects him. Steve, you live in Windermere and you've got millions of partridge pounds. Bloody buy them. bloody use them on the royalty. Come on, Steve. I know you watch my videos. Anyway, I got a bit silly near the end. I know. But I love you. I love you guys. So take care and share this so people will go, what is he rambling on about? And they might Google the place and then they might buy it. Do you have a rich relative who's looking to buy an old Art Deco cinema from 1927? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Okay, well, I'm going to leave you with my little trailer thing for my channel, which is a bit silly, but I just thought it'd be a good thing to do. So I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye!
Section 6. Natural Wonder. Wastwater. The real abyss. History isn't just man-made. Wastwater is the deepest lake in England. It feels like it belongs in both legend and in cinema. It has one of the most dangerous paths in the UK, and it's a landscape as dramatic as any film set.
Nice. And we're off. We're going. We're good.
I can see why the bench is here. This is like a painting. Shaky cam. Meanwhile, right, Matt, so you're going to be peeing yourself.
Marcy. This is like the start. If you're working back. Josh. 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 Yep. So that's Blair Witch Project.
Today I visited the Carriage from 2017's Murder on the Orient Express, Kenneth Branagh film. You'll see pictures and videos from inside the carriage used in the film, and I'll explain how I ended up there, what it's like now, and what it was like then. And you'll get to see all the pictures and videos. Situated on what was once the Cockermouth, Keswick and Penrith railway line, Bassenthwaite Lake Station saw holidaymakers and haulage alike pass between its platforms between 1865 and 1966, which then, due to the beaching cuts, put an end to its operation.
Section 7 film tie-in, Bassenthwaite Station Carriage. And finally, a journey back into cinematic luxury. Bassenthwaite Station, where a restored train carriage recreates the glamour of Kenneth Branagh's Murder on the Orient Express. This was actually used in the film. I toured the carriage and I stepped right into the movie.
As a holiday let, but they ended up buying the station site itself. And over the next 2 years, they painstakingly restored the station back to its 1930s era. The carriage I was in, the French SNCF Class 241 steam engine, is now a permanent fixture on the track. In fact, it's a replica that was used, the very train that appears in Kenneth Branagh's 2017 adaptation of Agatha Christie's novel Murder on the Orient Express. Starring Dame Judi Dench and Johnny Depp, it was built a little wider than the real-life train in order to fit in camera crews, but now that's used to help serve the restaurant carriage. It seats, where I was today, it seats around 30 people, and the salon carriage where I was, which is the exact one as you'll see in the pictures, I'll be in the same place as in the pictures that you see, now serves afternoon teas, which I got to experience and enjoy. Special care has been taken around the area to preserve the natural beauty of the station's surroundings. It serves as a habitat for all kinds of flora and fauna. So this is a wonderful addition to the Cumbrian tourist industry. Actually, when I saw it, it's exactly the same as in the film. As I was watching the film back, I could see the different areas that I was in. They were kind enough to let me have a look around when it was completely empty. And as you can see, I've filmed all the different areas, and it is like taking a step back in time, especially with the music that's playing as well. So as I said, the history behind this goes back to 2019 for where it's situated now, so 2 years after the film was made. But a visit to a specialist haulage yard in Stoke, they found this prop train. So actually this prop French SNCF steam train has the same engine, restaurant car, tender, baggage car, salon with bar, and it was purpose built to match the exact Orient Express that Kenneth Branagh wanted for his film. I had a wonderful time. It was so nice there. It was such a lovely atmosphere. I just want to say thank you to the owners for letting me have a good wander around and some wonderful food.
So there you have it. Games, ghosts, history and cinema, all waiting for you in the real world. Which one would you visit first? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more film, horror and history adventures with Pugfall 316 Studios.